we're going to get started.
It's getting started and hot. We're getting started and yeah.
All of that and more.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone, as we return to the island of Ayara and the city of Dina Zundad. Last we left off, our heroes had spent their first 2 weeks in the city, getting to know their surroundings, finding odd jobs, kind of making themselves known a little bit. At least some of them.
I've tried to kill a guy.
And some people did try to kill a guy. That did happen. And then through a series of, through one particularly not great roll, ended up not killing that guy and letting him go instead. But these 2 weeks were spent getting to know the city, but also watching the city come alive in preparation for a festival. The beginning of summer is here, and the festival of Bealtana. All of you, Menda and Ewan and Kyra, awake at Phineas's Flophouse. Ewan up in your tree stalk. The other two in your separate rooms. Exiting out into the space, the shared communal space. You see your other friends, Juniper and Ophalon as well, and give you greetings. It's all smiles this morning. And from what you've been told, in the beginning of the day, some sort of big announcement is being had in the castle. And everyone that can get there is invited. But it is first come, first serve, standing room only, you know. So, what are we doing?
I have my nose in my journal taking notes and just kind of begin speaking aloud, both to myself and kind of towards the rest of the group, and just be like, we should probably get to the castle as soon as we can, at least so we can get a good view of whatever's going on. Make it as simple as possible for us to be able to get back out, should we need to. Because I don't want to be around a lot of people for long.
Well, the more people that are there, the easier it is to be inconspicuous. We're kind of on our own. We're sitting ducks,
You're not very inconspicuous, you know that, right? You're red. And gold.
As she says that, I'll wave my cat and I turn white.
Arguably, now you're more conspicuous.
all I'm saying is that I'm pretty sure we'll be all right as long as we keep to ourselves and act natural.
Oh yeah, because you guys are so good at doing both of those things.
Well, if keeping to myself and acting natural happens to mean trying to get in somebody's pockets, whatever.
Normally, when things like exciting festivals are going on, you don't dig into other people's belongings because you're trying to celebrate with others.
Well, luckily we won't have to today, and I'll jingle that bag of gold I got.
Yeah.
Right. I will pick up a rock and yeet it towards the beanstalk.
Yep.
Just full on missing. Ah.
Do you miss like way off to one side, or do you miss like straight into the ground?
Like way off to one side. Oh no, it's more of like it didn't go far enough because she's got, yeah.
Noodle arms.
Actually, she'd be quite buff because she's an archer. She goes to throw it and it just totally like misses it off to the side. And just Yuan.
Kyle, is it officially summer?
It is officially summer.
It is officially
As
summer.
of this day.
As of this day, Ewan has a
is it
little bit of
summer
a
now?
wardrobe change.
Like, is it actually summer now for
Mhm.
us? Oh, no wonder why it's warm.
It is Vienna today.
Mhm.
I
It
knew
is the
that.
celebration of summer.
I'm gonna let you know. I don't know what any of those words mean. I'm just along for the ride.
You would know it. You would know today, as you do in real life, Paul. You would know today better as May Day.
Mmm. I do kind of know Mayday.
Ophalon, who's stretching out, just chimes in. He says, "Wow, I've never really been a part of a festival in a city before. This should be an illuminating experience."
Is that the word of the day?
Yeah, I was trying it out. Did I use it right?
You did. I'm proud.
Awesome.
It's actually, yeah, it's quite good use, you know?
Do you know what illuminating means?
Well, from like the context that I was given, it was like something. It was like when something's like really bright and out there, kind of like that.
Very obvious.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or it could be that we'll
Ophalon's
get a
voice
lot
is
of
so
new...
much easier to do than Pfeifferon's.
Oh,
Poor Kyle having to do
Ron's voice.
Colonel.
I'm trying to sneak around.
Juniper gets her outfit settled in and just says, "Well, I think Kyra's right. We should probably start heading up to the castle." Oh, but Ewan, your wardrobe change.
Yeah, wardrobe change. So the rock goes wide, and then when Ewan doesn't respond, you might notice that there are several like bunches of hair at the foot of the beanstalk. And clambering down is a much taller creature, approaching 6'2", with deep black hair and eyes like the rising sun. As like a shaved cropping going on underneath, and like way more hair than he had yesterday. Way more hair than he had
I
yesterday
will send
is like
you it.
pulled up into this mess of a bun. Oh, don't worry, I got it.
Oh, do
I
you
got
have
it.
it?
Oh, and his antlers are have grown out a little bit.
Yeah, how
So
many
there's-
points? How many points you got now, bud?
If he had like 2 points each previously, he's probably rocking closer to like 4 to 8, probably somewhere in that ballpark. Probably 6 to 8. Let's say.
Fair.
That is a
Oh no,
huge rack.
you're right. 6 to 8 is quite massive. I think that's
I think 3 to 4 on each side
Yeah,
at
I
this
was
point would
thinking
be
before.
a bit more feasible.
For like antlers and stuff, yeah, 3 to
Yeah.
4. Yeah. 4 point bucks, good, like great.
Yeah.
I was looking through. Sorry, I was looking through my files for it. That makes more sense. Where's the?
The lad.
There he is. That's a nice concept.
Nice.
Scar not necessarily present yet.
Right.
Fair enough.
Well, who are you?
The fuck are you talking about?
Well, you're definitely not the person that was coming out of that beanstalk yesterday. Did he leave on us? Did you take his room or something?
What the fuck are you talking about, Amanda?
I like walk further forward and just like grab both cheeks. Ewan?
Yes, Kyra, can I help you?
You. She starts just full panicking.
See, it's weird for you to look so different in one
You
day.
have an
Look-
entirely different bone structure.
What?
Look at yourself, and I will.
You got different bone structure. You got a different hair structure. You got a different antler structure. You got a different.
It's the same antler structure, it's just bigger.
Stop all the different structures you got.
I will.
Same frame, he's just bigger.
I will pull
Face is
out,
a
like,
little
find
different.
a spoon or something, and like show him the reflection.
Do I have a mirror? I might have.
I did a decent job with the cut.
Well, I'd say that's true.
I mean, I know that fair folk, they can change their form fairly fluidly. I just didn't think you could change it so drastically.
Well, why wouldn't I? Why would I make just a tiny tweak? That seems a little like a waste of an opportunity.
Well,
Well, don't you
Kind
really
of-
sometimes like how you look?
it's kind of disarming for those that are around you.
Yeah, you see, now I might change form and stuff, but I will always forever have my golden rings. Those are never gonna go away.
Well, if I'd had the presence of mind, I'd warned you all about it.
It might be a little helpful next time. You know what I mean? Give me a little.
Can I
little-
insight check this individual to make sure that it's actually
Yeah.
Ewan?
You can make an insight check. Go for it.
Amanda not making an insight check, just being like why the fuck you look different?
And Kyle, I'm going to choose wisdom for this particular
Okay.
instance.
That is a 9.
Well, god damn it, I wouldn't have thought to Bardic inspire you either. So
The,
you fucked.
With a 9, the voice and the cadence of speech are definitely Ewan.
Okay.
So unless this is a very accomplished doppelganger, this is it seems like Ewan. And unfortunately, with that low insight roll, I can't give you any more info than that.
Right. Okay. Well, your eyes were also green yesterday.
Another nut?
No, they're
No,
like
it's actually
orange.
you know if color were to be on a wheel, it would be actually pretty far from it. I'm pretty sure.
Yellow and green are so close, Paul.
Yeah, I don't actually know how they are.
They're touching.
Hello. Who has joined?
Hi, Travis.
Hello, Travis.
Harvins.
So
You're-
obviously we're not playing tonight, and I'm sad that we're not, but we got to get into the rhythm first. So probably
Yeah.
next. Also, because she was there for the birth and everything, Shy is here, and her husband,
Hi.
Caitlin,
Yay.
John.
Huzzah.
Where is the bee?
Yeah, it's okay. Hang on.
I would like to see the baby.
Oh.
That's very
So
Just
small.
look at her little nose.
She got a little smile.
He's such a cute little baby.
That is. She looks like a little doll.
So tiny.
Such a
Did we
little
watch an
baby.
episode of that show that looked just like that baby?
They look just like that baby.
Travis died.
She just
There's no camera left.
She's screaming so loud, high pitched. It sounds like she's taking
Oh.
much air.
Little newborn baby cries are the cutest cries, though. They're so pitiful.
It's not actually a baby crying. That's the dog.
Oh man.
That's the dog. That's not.
Oh,
No, she is.
Sleep.
does she sound like
They
Baby
do sleep
Mario
a
when
lot.
she cries?
How overrated being able to.
That was all.
Bye bye, Travis.
Bye, everybody. Love you guys.
And you can't do it.
Find the people who kidnapped us and kill them.
Or just,
What they deserve.
Say that.
Oh, yeah. First, then kill them.
Little does he know.
Little does he know. It's
Little does
okay.
he know.
He'll realize his foolishness when he watches the VOD.
Facts on God.
Don't remember where I was in the narration.
You just did the insight check.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They were commenting that my eyes are a different color now.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, and I don't really know what the color wheel looks
Oh,
like.
and very, very light, but noticeably there is like a line, like stubble starting to form in like a sideburn-esque fashion.
Sideburn?
Sideburn-esque fashion. Like,
Okay.
I like
it's but
No,
it's
you're
it's
good.
just barely there. It's like you can tell. Yeah.
Oh, hey! Updates. You do have a bit of scruff on the side of your face now.
It fucking itches.
Do we need to shave it?
Well, I was a little fucking busy. There's a lot of hair. Kept touching back of my neck. Fucking hot.
Do you want me to braid your hair for you?
Pulled it up.
But would you like it like?
Can
Dealt
I
with?
investigate the quality of that ponytail?
Quality of the ponytail. What is that?
It's a
mean?
bun. It's a bun.
That
sir.
bun. How good of a bun is it? Is she gonna fall out in 5 minutes?
I mean, you know, it's probably the first time he's done it, so he'll have to take a little while to get used to putting it up. Juniper leans down to towards Kyra and just whispers and says, "Is it just me, or is he a bit more cranky?"
He does seem to have a
He's
bit of a
kinda-
chip off in his shoulder. Are you?
It's gonna be a lot fucking bigger if you keep talking about me like I'm not here.
Listen.
I whispered
Maybe.
it.
Hey. Maybe we just need to go and enjoy the festivities. We're in the city. We might as well have fun.
Yeah,
Right?
and if he got himself into any trouble, nobody will know him now.
Did you get yourself into any trouble while you were?
Kyle, did I get myself up to any trouble?
Every time a guard saw you, you were a fox.
Very true.
Not the kind that'd be traced back to me by any means.
Well, that's always good. It ain't really good to get caught as a pirate, you know?
I feel like I need to give you like a necklace that has like a bell on it.
Bold of you to assume I would wear it.
Well, I feel like that would work against his stealthiness. He wouldn't be able to.
That's the point.
Well,
So that
I
we know where
suppose.
he's going when he's out doing whatever it is that you do at night.
You see Ophalon.
I'd like to see you try to put a bell on me.
I asked real nicely.
No.
Dear God.
Are you okay, Kyle?
Man's
You
got a
know,
cough.
this-
What can we say?
this time I don't have ropes, and I'll kind of hold the manacle.
I choked
can
on,
just-
choked on a jalapeno.
Ominda!
Ophalon, quickly growing bored, not seeming to really care that Ewan has changed his shape, heard his voice and was like, "Yeah, that's still the same guy." Hold on just a second. I'm fucking dying. I'm choking on a jalapeno chip.
You're good.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm gonna take
a
this
sec.
opportunity to get some chip.
Get some chip.
I'm going to pause the VOD for a moment.
YouTube. You will loop because I have told you to loop. And if you don't loop, I'm coming for you, you bastard.
Open that on YouTube Music.
The blickiest.
I guess I could do that.
Yeah, because then you can set it to loop.
I mean, I can set it to loop here. I right click and hit loop.
You're not incorrect, but like,
Okay.
What was that about right clicking and hitting loop?
Nothing. We're all good. I do like that this festival town background image though, because this is very much what I imagine Dinas Undad looks like in festival time. Little hobbit hole, doors in a lot of the
Oh my
buildings and stuff like that.
There's a little hobbit house on my walk to Arturo's, and it's
Mhm.
they're like inhabited, and they're some of the cutest houses I've ever seen.
Hmm.
Yeah, you guys, you'd never seen the Chini hobbit holes
They're
before?
so fucking
They're
cute.
pretty cute.
I'll
How was
take
it, by
Um,
the way,
three,
at
maybe.
Arturo's?
Hmm?
How was it, by the way, at Arturo's? No.
I've only had a day, but it's been good so far.
So, Ophalon, kind of turning away from this conversation that's happening. You see him lift his head up into the air and give a little sniff, and he's like, "Oh, well, there's all kinds of festival food. Come on, guys, I'm hungry. Let's go. Let's go to the castle."
Oh my god, I'm fucking starving. I feel like I've fucking gone through a growth spurt.
I could eat.
You have. You're like 6 inches taller.
Hey man, gonna have to eat him about six more pounds of protein to get him enough calories.
What if I'm rightfully
I can't-
starving? Let's get the hell out of here. Let's go get some food.
I can't even like lift my arm high enough to like measure your height difference.
Especially if you count the antlers. And he like just like grabs the highest points and just kind of like.
Squish, squish, squish.
They
Anyway.
start.
Ready?
The only
Let's go.
atypical thing that you guys can kind of notice now that they're starting to get bigger is they curl back around the head a lot more than antlers typically would. But other than that,
It's like you're wearing a crown.
not chilly. Or just antlers.
Yeah, but it's like a crown of bone, you know? That's what antlers are.
Perhaps you were anointed by the grounds.
Fitting for a king.
What are
As you all together start to walk out of the courtyard here of Phineas's flop house, and make your winding way up to the castle at the uppermost level, a place where so far only Ewan has been before.
Mm-hmm.
You pass all sorts of things. You see massive piles of lumber and twigs and other wood in preparation for bonfires later tonight. Flags and pennants and kites. You see all sorts of stalls set up everywhere. People that have come into the city from the docks, bringing with them all sorts of wares to sell. And what is mostly for sale on the streets leading up is, aside from food, is libations. Drink. So much drink of any sort. Wines. You see elves selling wine, claiming it comes from the far off elven realm of Aothlan in the woods to the north. You see dwarves with amber liquid in tankards from the dwarven capital of Koriklan, claiming it to be the strongest stout this side of the Sea of Crossing. And all of sundry others are here. You see halflings from villages out in the plains that have made the difficult and dangerous journey to get here, selling beer and ale. It is a lively time, and even at this early point in the morning, everybody is drinking and eating and making merry. Truly, as you walk up, you can find any food and any drink that would sate your appetite this morning. Lots of spiced and cured meats are available. Many varieties of candied fruit, including like apples that have a like a sheen coat of melted sugar on the outside of them. It is a gorgeous day.
I just stop in front of like a candied apple stall and just kind of stare at the apples.
You see, there is a small halfling man with a big tomato red nose in the center of his face, who looks up at you and says, "You looking for an apple, missus?"
Oh, no, I don't have any gold. I'm sorry.
You see, he looks at you curiously and he says, "Gold? It's Beelzebub!" And he just reaches up and grabs one and hands it to you. And he says, "It's a time for merrymaking. You won't find too many people asking for gold today."
Oh my fucking god, you're a
Well-
sight.
Well, you gotta tell me twice. Can I have one as well, sir?
Absolutely. And you see, he just passes them out to anybody that wants one.
Yeah. Well, man, it's ain't this a
Ewan,
good
who
festival?
I feel like
Ewan eats it in like 3 bites, just
yeah,
straight
Ewan,
up.
Ewan has like 3 different meats on kebabs, like in his other
one hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Lamb.
You see, Ophalon also takes 2 candied apples, truly, and gets, like a goat, gets through 2 of them in the span of about 5 seconds. Just
Them jaws.
crunching on that shit.
I cut up the candied apple and share it with Juniper.
Yeah. Juniper accepts that and also is drinking a little bit of spiced tea that she found being sold. I think she probably assumed that it would not have alcohol in it. Was mistaken because there is some in there, but not enough to cause an issue. But yeah,
Would
And
love.
then, and then I'll go
What?
for it.
I was gonna say I would love to find whiskey. We try to find some type.
I mean, walk 20 feet, my guy.
Yeah. I walk up to the nearest rum stall and I pull out like just an ugly ass cup from my bag and I'm like, "Hey, can I have a little bit of that rum there, sir?
Absolutely.
What kind of? That's some
You
good
see-
stuff right there."
It being rum, this is you actually see a familiar sight. You see Bartholomew Broadrudder from the Salty Selkie, or the Saucy Selkie, down on the docks with a large barrel labeled Bartythoo, this seaweed, the seaweed spiced rum that you had before. And he says, "Well, sure there, little fella." And you see, as you hold out this cup, he opens the tap and allows it to flow into your receptacle, and says, "Make sure to tell people where you got it."
Oh, you definitely don't got to tell me twice. As I'll with my big frog gullet and just
Hold on.
2 gulps go.
Give me
and
just
I'll
1
put it
second, I'll be
right
right
back, right back under there. Pour myself some more, and then I'll take that one for sipping. I'm fucked up now. I'm gonna get drunk.
For sure. I mean, that's how you celebrate, right? You just drink and eat until you vomit or die, right?
Well, yeah. Hey, well, luckily, I haven't
And
had
we're
anybody-
fucking invincible. We can never die.
Yeah, and I've never been drunk in my life.
I don't believe you.
That
You were
sounds
drunk
like
4 days ago.
That sounds like a lie.
I don't think that's true. I don't remember that.
Of course you don't. You were drunk, you fucking numpty.
Yeah, Kyra, you find some lovely whiskey. It's a human couple that look like they have come from the plains as well, and you see they have this big, barrel, oaken barrel, ready to that's already been set up so that they can pour from a tap from it. But you see, they also have selections of their own wheat and hops that they've and other such things that they've grown out in the fields on display here as well. Rye and wheat and other grains here to show what they've concocted this brew out of. And have it a taste. I mean, as far as whiskey goes, that's some of the best you've had.
Will take a sip, and I will look over to Ewan and Ophalon, and immediately you have to try this.
Well, you don't have to tell me twice.
Ewan will crush his water skin to wash down the immense meal he's surely acquired at this point.
Yeah.
And fill his water skin with it.
Yeah.
This
Get
is
your
for-
water skin filled. All sorts of things, my friends.
And then a
fresh-
hot cider for the mug. Just
fresh,
a wooden carved shitty
yeah.
mug.
Fresh baked breads, mincemeat pies, anything you could want as you make your
find
way.
The biggest cinnamon roll I can
slowly
find.
upward. Oh, absolutely, there are.
I
many.
do have a question.
Yeah.
I'm assuming as we're traveling down this main thoroughfare, there's probably different alleyways and stuff. Are people fucking celebrating in the alleyways? Doing
Oh yeah. I
betting
mean, it
and
is.
gambling.
There's people everywhere.
Can I look for bettors and
If
or
they're
gamblers?
not gambling, they're fucking. So that's normally how it goes.
Well, I'm privy to both, but I'm looking for a gambler today.
Make a perception check.
All right, here we go. Let me pull out my abilities prior to. All right. Hey, that's not bad. 12.
12.
I mean, we don't have time for you to go and bet and
with a
gamble
12
away all of your money. We have to get up to the castle.
With a 12, as you guys are walking along, Omenda, you do see some people off to one side that look like maybe they're throwing dice, something like that. Yeah, you see some people that might be gambling.
I look over, I see some dice throwers, and I turn to the group. I understand. I don't have a problem. I just want to throw a couple of hands, and then we'll call her good. If we're up, we're up. If we're down, whatever. I'll call her good. I'm not gonna lose all our money. I promise. I'm already walking towards the dice,
Mm-hmm.
talking to a wall.
For sure.
Ewan truly immediately is distracted, eating like he has a fucking hollow leg.
Yeah.
Man's just hungry.
Ewan, you have to slow down. You're gonna get sick.
All right. You head over to these people that you see a couple of gnomes, a dwarf, and a cat-like humanoid, a tabaxi, that's crouched here, all of them, and they have a simple setup here. It looks like a 3d6 game, and the goal is to get all of your dice to match. But on top of so you get 3 rolls, you can hold over any dice that you want. So if you roll 3 and you get doubles, you can just try and hold those 2 and try to roll the 1 until you get it. But you only get 3 rolls total. So they are playing this game here. The tabaxi sees you approaching and says, "Ah, you are looking to join a game, friend?"
Yeah, I'm looking to play a little. I'm looking for somebody who can make some, gamble some money away.
Of course. I have the next session, the next game you may join. And you are gonna roll dice against this tabaxi.
What's the ante?
10 gold, although you may raise that if you wish.
I think we'll stick with that for now and see kind of how the game kind of plays for us.
That is fair. And how this works from a competitive standpoint
Right.
is if both players were to get all three of their dice to match up,
Mhm.
then the person with the highest dice total score wins.
Right.
So I just lost a dice.
I will find a chair and start doodling.
You will probably need to just lean up against the wall.
I will do that.
Not a lot of chairs going on out here. Okay, well that dice is just lost forever.
Ready. I'm ready.
All right. First roll. Go ahead and roll 3d6.
Oh, damn. Okay, that's okay. I'll start over.
Oh, were you just rolling?
Yeah. Still good though.
All right. How'd you finish out?
2 2s and a 6.
2 2s and a 6. 2 5s and a 6. So that's a loss of 10 gold.
Sad.
He says, "Ah, an excellent try, friend. Would you like to play again? Double or nothing?"
Yeah, let's do her. Let's see what we can do.
All right.
And I'll throw it in there.
Go for it. 3 rolls.
All right. Alrighty. And I have a question for you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Would you allow me to use my distort value spell to
change the dice value?
Yes.
Hit a 15 sleight of hand, and I will let you cast that spell to modify your dice.
Okay. Now we're gonna do this one. Sleight of hand, you said? I'm pretty good at that. 15?
Yep.
Okay, so that's a 24.
You can get away with casting this spell in this moment. Casting
Alright.
casting distort value. What is the value on your dice?
So without distort value, it was 6, 6, and a 3. With distort value, it'll be 6, 6, and a 6.
Lovely. Which will beat the Tabaxi's naturally rolled 3 5s.
Yes.
Congratulations, my friend. You broke even. No, that's not true. You put in 10, you got back 20, so you're up 10.
Yeah, I'm up 10.
You're up 10. Proud of you. The Tabaxi,
but 10 of that 20 was for the same bet.
True.
And then the extra 10 covered the 10 that he lost the prior bet. So he is broken even.
You see the Tabaxi looks really smug as he pushes out the 3 5s, sees your 3 6s, and shakes his head and looks at it and is like, I cannot believe that. Well done. Well done. You see he hands over the gold. We're going to be here. We're going to be here for a while if you'd like to keep playing.
Well, if you guys are gonna be here for a while, you see, I got an engagement, got an entanglement. So we're gonna go ahead and handle that first, and I will definitely be back because these dice are hot. I'll be back for them.
It certainly seems so. Please do come back.
Mm-hmm. And then as I get it from the table or from the floor or whatever,
Yeah.
I will do so in a way to where I brush my dice so they don't stay how they are.
Yeah.
So that way they like fake roll so they don't see that I lied.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
You head away. Rejoining your companions. You've got 10 more gold than you did before. And that is how the math works, Jacob. He put
No,
in
it isn't.
10. He put in 10. He got 20 back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that 20, half of 10 of that covers the bet into the hand that he won,
Yep.
and the other 10 covers the hand that he lost.
You know what? You know what really sucks?
Oh,
Give
you're
me-
right.
Like,
He had to put it in again. That's right.
Yeah.
You are
You know what-
correct. He did break
you
even.
know what really
No,
sucks?
he
You know what really sucks about gambling math is like if you do like double.
it's designed to fuck you over.
Yeah. It's so bad.
If you just keep doubling your bet every time, eventually you'll just break even again.
Eventually, you'll get there.
Exactly, bro.
But all of you, in good spirits, continue to head up through the throngs of people as the morning turns into the bright mid-morning sun up above. Eventually, you guys wind your way to the gates into the upper districts of the city. You start passing through a more high-end district with nice, large stone and brick houses. More like estates than anything else. And there is a lot less street fair vibe once you get to this point. There are still a few vendors on the street, but now instead of food and drink and other such things being given almost freely, you're now seeing true merchants, fancy clothing and jewelry and other such things, there to tempt those that might have a little bit more coin in their pocket.
For those who might just have a little bit of mischief in their heart, is there anything that looks interesting?
Make a perception check. Make a perception check, but also before you tell me what you rolled on that, what would be interesting to you in this situation?
Something that seems out of place amongst the other wares. So, like, if there's a lot of metal working here, something that looks more natural, or vice versa.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's a higher number now. 19.
19. There is something out of place here. In all of the fabrics and fancy jewelry and fancy armors and things like that that are being sold around here, one thing does catch your eye. An exotic pets station. You see fabulous birds in large cages. Nothing is being kept in anything that is too small, although for an animal, perhaps any cage is too small. But there are such things as little cat-like creatures that seem to be made of moss and foliage. You see, as I said, so many types of birds, from the smallest of sparrows to the largest of owls or hawks. There are also weasels and rabbits, and you swear towards the back you even see something that looks very similar to a very small cockatrice. All sorts of things available here. And what catches your eye, Ewan, is a black rabbit that is in its own sort of space here. Long ears. It is a rabbit, although it has the more of the countenance of a hare. Bigger feet, longer ears, and just piercing red eyes. But it is here, and you see there is a sort of kind of shorter than average half giant, and you see he is just a standard stone giant descent, a standard Goliath, but he has all sorts of animalistic tattoos all up his arms and across his bare chest. He is has kind of this squashed face with a fully shaved head, and he's kind of talking to people as they pass about these animals that he has available.
Is the cage that the black rabbit is in, is that like oriented in a position that I could interact with the animal prior to speaking to the man, or would I have to speak to him to like
you were able to catch sight of that as you approach, and he is currently busy in conversation with somebody else. He says, well, the thing that you have to remember when you're taking care of a hawk like this is, he's just kind of going over it with a half orc looking gentleman.
Ewan will kneel down or like crouch down by the cage and just try to get the creature's attention.
Yeah, go ahead and make an animal handling check with advantage for me.
Kyle,
Yes, Paul.
As we've been going through the festival thoroughfare, Ominda's kind of been in a good mood.
Yeah.
He's been kind of hoot tooting on his trumpet, and I'll go ahead and give both of them a bardic inspo
Got it.
for them to use whenever.
Noted. What's your inspo die? D6, right?
I think so.
I think at this level it's a D6.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's D6.
Yes, indeedy.
I rolled on the dice a 5 and a 19. So for animal handling, that's a 26.
26. You kneel down. How do you try to get this creature's attention?
I think Ewan just like crouches to whatever side is nearest to it, and he kind of puts his finger up to the cage it's in and kind of like rubs it a couple of times, maybe to just like get its attention, and just generally motions to it
You
kind of calmly.
You step up and you do this, and in but a moment you blink, and the rabbit is there. It is at your finger, at the side of the cage, just kind of inspecting, like maybe you have a treat or something.
Do I have a treat?
It does that rabbit thing where it kind of like nibbles on the cage wall a little bit.
Do I have
Do you
a
have
treat?
rations?
Need to check. Yeah, do I have rations?
I think you probably have rations, yeah.
I would probably have rations by now.
You don't.
You certainly have gathered a lot
Yeah.
of food as you've been walking today.
It's true. That's
give
true.
him some of that candied apple. You don't know better.
I ate that candied apple. I ate it in 3 bites. I said that earlier.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Alan's, he was starving. Yeah, I'll pull something along the more plant-based spectrum, I think.
For sure. You hold it out, put it towards the edge of the cage, and again, in but an instant, it's gone. And you just see this little rabbit face just making chewing motions.
You're a speedy little one, aren't you?
You hear in your head, I'm really fast.
What say we spring you loose?
Yeah, I'm gonna run.
I'll spring you loose, but you've got to make a little deal with me.
Okay.
You've got to be my shadow. Stick by me. Run as much as you like, but stick close.
Yeah, I can sit close.
Good. What kind of cage is it in?
Nothing terribly fancy. You see, it is weird because there are other rabbits that are all housed together, and this one is by itself in its own kind of cage. But it is just still a simple sliding wooden door to pull up, and the rabbit could run right out.
Is the man still distracted?
He is still distracted, talking to a guy about a falcon now.
Then, like a ghost,
Hmm.
Ewan's fingers press against this wood, and I try to pull it up as slowly and quietly as I can.
Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Happy to.
Gonna make a perception check with disadvantage for my lovely boy.
You do have that bardic inspiration in case you need
I don't know if I'll need it, but I'm gonna use it for giggles.
it. Just to get a high ass roll. You look at
Oh.
30.
I've rolled really low on it. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, you reach over, you pull up this little wooden door, and again, you blink, that rabbit is gone.
I just as gently set it down.
Yeah.
And I leave rapidly.
Yeah. You leave at about the same time as the guy who was talking about the falcon. It's like, maybe I'll come back later. Maybe I'll come back later. And you see the half giant be like, yes, of course, of course. And he turns to you, like to look at you. He's like, sir, did you want it? Oh, all right. I'm sorry I didn't get to you soon enough. My bad. As you just walk away into the crowd. But yeah.
But how was it looking at the? God, I lost him now, kid. Well, how was it looking in that shop over there?
Oh, I might have found something, but I don't know. I'm not quite sure about it yet. Maybe I'll check out later.
Kyra and Omenda, what are your passive perceptions?
Mine's 13.
14.
14. With a 14, Kyra, you see a small shape in the crowd, and you see that it never leaves. It moves so fast you can't see what it is, but whatever it is staying firmly in Ewan's shadow wherever it is cast on the ground here.
I kind of just cock my head to the side and watch it as the group begins to like head out.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of pausing there.
But yeah, you guys are very close to the castle now, and describing it again for those that aren't Ewan, it's made of the same white limestone that the cliff this whole city sits upon is. In fact, if it wasn't so precise, you would swear that the folks that founded this city and built this castle brought it up through magic up from the stone itself, fully formed. It is truly a sight to behold, and as the morning sun hits it, it shines brightly here in Dinas Undad as you approach. There is already a massive crowd as you're entering into the main courtyard district here, which is basically level 2, with level 1 being the castle itself. But this big announcement for the festival is supposed to be happening here in the courtyard of the castle, with the kind of promenade that leads up to the white steps up above. And it's crowded, but you all are here with enough time that you can get somewhat decently close. And you're pretty pleased with yourselves because you actually can see the top of the steps quite well. Presuming that that's where the announcement is going to take place. You see folks from all over here. You see hulking half orcs and bugbears. You see even a couple of little goblins running around in spaces. And for some of you that have only known goblins in a negative sense, which is over a lot of this world, it is somewhat charming to see these little goblins still getting up to goblin-y mischief, but definitely integrated into society here. You see grung and half-elves, not a lot of full elves, interestingly enough, although you do see some kind of off on their own, and you figure that that might be the delegation from the elven cities to the north. You do see a lot of dwarves. There are gnomes, a lot of them riding on shoulders of taller companions. Beast folk of all sort, from bird-like Aarakocra to the cat-like Tabaxi. It is a varied people that are here, and you all are part of it. As you all post up here in the in this space, the largest you've seen so far, pyre of sticks and all sorts of wood alights with flame in the center, at the bottom of the steps. A massive orange flame that slowly but surely becomes yellow here, matching the color of the sun high above. And as this happens, a hush and then a cheer comes across all peoples gathered as an elderly man with spectacles and a sort of half tiara wreath of ivy around his brow, a long bushy white beard, and a very kind face. You do see, even from this distance, slightly pointed ears on him as well. Flowing magnificent robes of white and gold and silver, as he strides out at the top of the steps with his arms held wide, as King Math the First, son of Mathenwy the Second, steps out here to greet the crowds. He allows the cheers to happen, his hands up, and then as he lowers his hand, the crowd begins to quiet. And in a magically modified booming voice, he speaks. Welcome, welcome, dear visitors and residents of Dinas Undod. It is my sincerest pleasure to bring this Beeltana festival to its beginning. I certainly hope that all of you will have a safe and wonderful time here in our great city this day and long into the night. For it is the beginning of summer. It is a time to make merry. It is a time to prepare for what is to come in the rest of the year. There are many things I wish to say, none of which I have time for. So I will get on with it, as they say. For this festival does not just celebrate the transition into summer, but it celebrates in particular a shift in power from one god to the next. And it just so happens that those gods are wed to one another. Ladies and gentlemen, guests and residents, may I introduce all of you to Angus, the King of Summer, and his lovely wife, Brigid, the Keeper of the Waters. And you see he gestures his hands, and in a flash as bright as the sun itself, two people appear at the top of the stairs with King Math. The first to materialize fully is the woman. Fiery red hair as long that falls down to the middle of her back. She has a round face, a very kind smile. She has a wreath of spring flowers, all in gold, around her head. In her hands, she carries a jug. Jutting from each of her shoulder blades is a large horn, like an ox's horn, that sprouts up. And she is wearing a beautiful dress of blue and green that seems to be made of silk so soft it moves like water as she does. This is Lady Brigid, the god of the waters, the god of livestock, the goddess of spring. And materializing next to her is a beautiful blonde-haired man that I can only do justice describing as Hugh Grant in his prime. A lovely face, this kind of thatched golden hair that is also quite long. He also has a crown of summer flowers around his head, also in gold. He wears a fine set of leathers on his chest and legs, and has a beautiful golden and white cape around his shoulders as he materializes and raises his hands to tumultuous cheers from everyone around. For Angus, though a high fae, is not just the king of the summer court, but he is the god of summer, the god of youth. And both of these deities, true, are here in front of you all. Angus stands there taking in the cheers, his hands raised, and even without waiting for the cheers to end, he starts to talk. And all of you can hear it. His voice is that clear and loud as he says, "Thank you, thank you. It is a pleasure to be here in this city of Dinas Undod. A wonderful time to see all of you celebrating this momentous day as the transition from spring into summer is at its point." And you see, as he says this, the flower crowns around both he and his wife's brow begin to glow, and the light in hers dims slightly and his expands slightly, showing this transition of the seasons. Angus gives a big warm smile and continues, "We were invited here by your dear king, Math the First, to show a new sense of partnership and connection between this city and my woodland realm of Eothlin. And so it is that as we proceed through this year, new routes of trade will be brought forth. And the elves of my realm will see to it that those routes are looked after. To make the routes and the roads through the plains of this southern part of the island safer for all to travel through. There's a big cheer, especially from many of the farmers that have come into the city here. Alas, dear people, there are many more celebrations that must be attended, for I am the god of summer, and all of these festivals, at least partially, are in my name. But do not forget, as he gestures towards the sky, towards the sun shining up above, to also include dear Belinus, my cousin, in your prayers and your prayers and in your I don't know what word I was looking for, the DM, and in your exaltations, for it would not be summer without the sun. And everything from the sun to the flame to the flower crowns all seem to glow a bit brighter in that moment. You see, he gives a hearty chuckle and he says, I must return to my realm, for we will be having a grand festival there as well. As also, I believe, we must attend a moot of the Tuatha De Danann today. But I wanted to ensure all of you that this new source of friendship between our two cities is taken seriously. And so, and he gestures towards his wife, and the Lady Brigid steps forward. And in a pleasantly soft voice that still everyone can hear, she says, we have thought about this long and hard, and have had no shortage of begging be brought to us from them. So, to help this city, to show the connection of our newfound, recommitted friendship, our daughters will be remaining behind in the city for the rest of the year to ensure that this friendship is seen through. She smiles, and walking down the steps from the same space that King Math walked from are two red-headed young women. One in green, in a cloak of green and brown and purple. The other in a set of magnificent armor. Two individuals that you, Ewan, have seen before. In a garden, not far from here. Angus gives a big grin and says, may I introduce all of you to our lovely daughters. Caradwyn, the Lady of Magic, and Rhiannon, the Lady of Horses. And all of you see, for the first time, these two step down, smiling and waving out to everyone. And Ewan, something clicks in your head that you had thought about a bit when you were technically spying on these folks that you couldn't place before. They looked half-elven to you, and they still do to all of you look half-elven. But now it makes sense. They are half-elven. They are half archfey and half god. As they step forth, you see... Oh, and let me share in the proper group chat, the two women that you see, please do not pay too much attention to their hands. This was made with Midjourney, and
Pay no attention to the hands.
yeah,
To the man behind the curtain.
It's-
Kyle,
yeah.
would I be able to insight check these gods' feelings towards this partnership, this new renewed partnership?
Yeah,
How
make
positive
a
do they feel about it?
yeah. Go ahead and make an investigation check, or insight check.
That's a 12.
12. It's in the Gods and Giants character art chat.
Nice.
Caradwin is, of course, the one with the cauldron. Rhiannon is the one with the horse. And in fact, all of you see a little cauldron just hovering and following slowly behind Caradwin. With a 12, Omenda, I think nothing in this moment, because this is a summer festival, and the god of summer and youth is literally standing 200 feet from you.
Right, yeah.
The only thing you really can glean is that Angus is truly exuberant. He seems excited. But you don't know if that's just who he is, or, maybe he's just good at hiding things, but he seems truly ecstatic and excited
Right.
about this.
I don't see anything deeper. Cool.
Not from where you're at.
That's okay.
The ladies Caradwin and Rhiannon step forth and wave and give little bows to King Mathenwy, who steps forward as well, or to King Math, and who steps forward as well and says, "The ladies Caradwin and Rhiannon will be my honored guests in the castle. You may see them about the city, assisting in any way that they can, although they usually will be accompanied by a retinue of sorts." He seems to say this to Lady Brigid to waylay any worries she may have, though she just smiles and nods. King Mathenwy, the only mortal standing on the top of these stairs, is taking everything in stride, and you see he gestures to everyone. "Please, everyone, may I have all of you give a grand round of applause to King Angus, to Lady Brigid, and their lovely daughters, and the beginning of summer." Everybody begins to clap and cheer. Angus gives a deep bow to the entire crowd and stands up, and here, as his hair moves, his golden hair moves from his head, you see truly just how long and pointed his ears are, giving away his fey nature. As he looks around, a big grin on his face. "Dear people, my wife and I must go, but we'll leave you, our daughters. We know they are in good hands, and we know all of you are in good hands. Have a wonderful festival. Marry Bealtana." And he claps his hands together, and in a brilliant flash of light, Lord Angus and Lady Brigid are gone. King Math stands there, continuing the applause, and as things begin to die down, you see Caradwin leans down and whispers into his ear, and he nods and takes a step back and allows her to step forward. Lady Caradwin speaks out and says, "We certainly hope that all of you have a wonderful festival. the king is correct. You may see us about the city. And please, if we can be of assistance, we are more than happy to be. Although, we do have duties, so probably not for small things, if possible. And you see she laughs a little bit. But also, in thanks for this lovely, partnership, and for keeping us here and keeping rooms in the castle for us, King Math, my sister and I have brought a gift for you. And you see she holds her hand out over the cauldron and makes a couple of hand movements, and rising up from the silver liquid within is a tightly furled scroll. Even from the distance all of you are at, you can see it is gilded in gold and silver. And she grasps it in her hand, and she says, "Magic in this world is to be protected. Magic in this world is to be studied. And some magic in this world is so powerful that the only way to properly use it is if it is written down." She hands this scroll to King Math, who has a look of bemusement on his face. She says, "I give this to you, dear king, as a sign of our friendship, understanding that you will keep it safe and only use it in the proper of circumstances." And she hands this spell scroll over to the king, who grasps it in his hands and looks it over in wonder and says, I truly do not know what to say, my lady. Thank you. Another hand, everyone, for the ladies Caradwyn and Rhiannon." And polite applause begins again. Everybody go ahead and make another insight check for me.
Ewan applauding be like, insight check, you said?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 22 for me, boss.
That's good.
That's a 9.
17.
17. Kyra, I think with a 17, you notice in this moment, as King Math looks over this scroll, you see him truly look bewildered and like I say, just kind of shocked at what he's been handed. Omenda, with your higher roll, I will say what you notice. You notice that, but you also notice another figure that is up there who is smiling and, joining the applause, but isn't quite as enthused with the whole situation, and that is the Lady Rhiannon, the Lady of Horses, Caradwyn's sister. She is smiling, she's applauding. She just seems a little put out by the situation. Like she wasn't expecting her sister to give this scroll over in this moment. But she applauds nonetheless. King Math nods to the two. Lady Caradwyn steps back, her cauldron slowly sliding back to be by her side. As King Math takes this scroll in his hands and kind of holds it at his side and says, "Everyone, it is my pleasure to announce this year's Beeltena Festival has begun. Enjoy your bonfires, enjoy your drink, your food. It is a night of merrymaking, of matchmaking. Please, enjoy yourselves. And everyone begins to clap again as King Math and the twin sisters, Caradwin and Rhea, begin to ascend back up into the castle.
I want to know what's on that scroll.
You and me both.
Yeah,
Do you want to go
kinda-
find out?
Yeah, it kind of looked like
It
the
looks
one.
pretty important, so it probably would not be the best idea for us to go and just try and see what it is.
It
I
looked
think
like the one
it
whose
sounds like a
falcon
magnificent
horses
idea.
didn't really want the king to have it. It looked like she didn't expect him to get that.
I just want to see what's on it.
I
I
think
bet you
it's
it's
sealed.
some kind of contract.
He just rolled it open on the stage. What do you mean it's sealed?
Wasn't it rolled really tightly?
No, he just looked it over. He just looked over the gilding. He didn't open the scroll yet.
Right.
Was it like sealed with a
Yeah.
a wax seal?
I feel like it's some form of contract or something, so that way things work out smoothly.
Everybody go ahead and make an Arcana check for me. Every time I ask for an Arcana check from you, and Jacob just laughs, and it's amazing.
10.
10.
Natural 20 plus 1, 21.
Plus 1. Kyra, you're not super familiar with magic,
No.
but you do know that powerful sorcerers and druids and clerics and others who have access to particularly potent strands of magic are able to put spells into they are able to take very powerful spells and write them down in such a way that anyone who has a grasp of the arcane could possibly cast that spell.
Mm.
Now, there's no way of knowing without seeing what's on the scroll how powerful of magic it is. But it is usually quite powerful magic that you find written onto scrolls, rather than anything mundane or that anyone on the street might have access to in this very magical world.
Well, at the very least, it's something important.
What if we convince that math feller to give it to us?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
What if we
Aye.
convinced some aristocrat to get us an audience with the king, and then one of us goes and
Well, apparently
finds it
Juniper's
and
already met
stays.
the king from what she told me.
is that what happened? Oh, what?
As
Wait,
you say, apparently Juniper already met the king. You all are walking with the crowds out of this space, and Kyra, as you turn to inquire of Juniper and Ophalon are not with you anymore. They are gone.
Where the shit? I will scan the crowd to try and see if I can find them.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage.
You got the bardic inspiration die.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Damn.
I get disadvantage in the sunshine. That is a
Right, yo.
7.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do
My
not
good
see
lord.
Juniper or Ophalon anywhere. They
I-
have fully been lost in the crowd.
I can't see very well when it's bright like this. Maybe we should just head back to Phineas's and see if they catch up with us.
Well, yeah, we can definitely do that. I'm gonna go see if I can see anything from up on high, and I'm gonna jump up onto the nearby roof if I can,
Okay.
or wall or whatever.
Yeah. You could jump up onto something, I would say. Yeah, I mean, it probably would be a wall in this instance. So, yeah, and I mean, no roll necessary. It's easy enough for you. You're a frog. You just
Yeah.
jump right up there and perch. And you're also looking for Juniper and Ophalon?
I am indeed. I am indeed.
Okay, go ahead and make that perception check.
Wow, it did it to me.
Did you also roll in that one?
I did indeed.
Wow, that's rough, buddy. Yeah,
For
I mean,
4.
looking around the crowd, you see several young half-elven women with red hair, but upon closer inspection, they're not Juniper. And you see several Urishks, like Ophalon, but none of them are Ophalon. They are totally lost in this crowd.
Well, I'll slurp myself over the wall
Yep.
and meet everybody on the other side.
You got
See
it?
what-
I am sure they can find their way back by themselves.
Yeah, they are pretty. They are pretty capable amongst themselves. But they might be able to. They might even be back with us. Might have got some more beer. You know, Ophalon, he likes to get him a little toasty.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. They got the buddy system going down. They'll be fine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm still a little nervous.
Why are you nervous? They're adults.
I know, but like, I never mind.
All right.
Well, what I always did when we lost a member of our crew is that I would send out one ship and he would go trolling the waters. But that would be after we waited a little while and see if they didn't just show up back in because they were sleeping under deck. So we'll see if we find them back at the flop house or somewhere at the Salty Selkie or somewhere getting some food, and then we'll inquire.
They could have just snuck off together.
You know, maybe they got a little thing going. They're, you know,
It is a matchmaking festival after all.
it is indeed a matchmaking festival.
I
match
never,
could have been
I
made,
never,
you know?
I never assumed. I just, you know.
I make assumptions constantly.
What do you
It is
assume
kind of the way
about?
to live.
What assumptions have you made about us? Ewan.
Um,
King.
Shut your fucking face. I'm not telling you.
Oh, you suddenly cat got your tongue.
No, I've got it. Food. Starving.
It's raining hard.
Yeah, you guys, with the crowd, descend back through the upper districts and out into the main portion of the city where the festival is now in full swing. The bonfires have been lit and they will continue to burn long into the night, many hours from now. There is dancing and music, games, food, anything your heart might desire. So, yes, Kyra.
I am going to head towards the apothecary to see
Yeah.
if Juniper and Ophalon have snuck over there, and to see if I can figure out what that scroll was, because it seemed pretty
Yeah, for sure.
important, and I know that Mildred
Yeah,
is a magical
Eating
individual.
chocolate cake and drinking beer.
for sure.
I'm eating chocolate cake.
Yeah, you eventually make it over to the Blooming Heather, which, despite the festival being in full swing, appears to be open. And ducking inside Kyra, you see Mildred there. She has flowers braided into her wispy gray hair, and is just sort of stacking potions on the shelf behind as you walk in. She says, "Oh, how wonderful! It's good to see you again, dear."
Hi, I was just popping in, I had a question, or 2 questions, I suppose, for you, if you're not busy.
Not at all, not at all. Not a lot of people stopping by yet. As as more people get drunk and fights start to happen, there'll be more people showing up here.
I am worried about the two that I left alone now, suddenly. Have you perhaps seen my redheaded, friend, Juniper? Today?
She looks at you and questions. She says, not today. She was in yesterday and the day before. I've been teaching her the ins and outs of herbalism for the last little while, so she should have a somewhat decent grasp of how to make potions for you all at this point.
Well, that's helpful.
But she has not been in at all today.
Interesting. My other question is, the lady, Caradwin, I think? She gave King Math a scroll. I don't know if you saw. Would you know anything about it? Because he seemed pretty bewildered that she gave it to him.
You see, she cocks her head and she says, I was not present. I was opening the store. Could you describe what it was that she...
was gilded in silver and gold, and it was very tightly sealed, and it came out of a cauldron with silver goo.
She chuckles a bit and let me roll for her. She thinks on that for a minute and she says, well, I can not say that I have dealt much in the realm of spell scrolls. There is a magical shop a couple of levels up that might have a bit more information on such things. But as for the cauldron, is this your first time hearing of the Lady Caradwin?
Yes. She wasn't in any of the books that I read on my way here.
She likely wouldn't be. Her and her sister are of a somewhat new generation of gods on this island. They are the offspring of the union between the two pantheons, between the Tilwith Teg of the Wilderland and the Tuatha De Danann here of this island. And they are the first. Well, not quite the first. Queen Nuada shares a similar story, but she is the only other.
What is Queen Nuada's story?
See, she says, well, Queen Nuada is the daughter of the Dagda, who she took over the rulership of the Cloud Giants and also the rulership of the gods, of the Tuatha De Danann at the very least. And his first wife, the original union between the two houses. When the Dagda was wed to, and you see she kind of lowers her voice a bit, the Morrigan.
I thought that the Phantom Queen only had one offspring, Mordred.
Oh no, she's had she's had a few offspring. I've heard of Mordred, but the most famous of her offspring is most certainly the Queen of the Tuatha De Danann, the Lady of the Silver Hand. Although, knowing Queen Nuada, at least from the stories about her, she may not claim her mother as her mother anymore. So,
especially when your mom cuts your fucking hand off.
that's a Velry quote. You see, she says, but the Lady Caradwin, she is one of the premier researchers in the realm of magic on this island now. She has lived most of her life in the vast wilderness to the north, in the city of Eothlin with her family, but much of her writing has made it even this far south, and soon I expect will start to make its way to the mainland. It will not be long before the Lady of Magic and the Lady of Horses are known throughout the world.
Interesting.
Her, the cauldron that you spoke of, I do not know for certain, but what I have heard, is it is the purest magic in all of the realms resides within it. The magic of the Arwen, the magic of creation, of creativity and spontaneity. It is her source of power. And she gives of it graciously, from what I've been told.
Interesting.
I've also been told that those that piss her off have a tendency to be turned into animals, so, you know, there are conflicting reports on that end, but...
Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna go try to find my friends and enjoy a bit of
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
festival before it ends.
Yes, well, absolutely, dear. And please, when you find your little frog friend, whose name I cannot ever remember, can you please tell him thank you for sending one of his associates? We were able to get those cockatrices out of here, no problem.
I will surely pass on the message. I hope that you have good business today.
Well, I do, but I also don't, because it means a lot of people will be injured. But, yes, thank you. Although I don't only sell healing potions, I also sell plenty of potions that will be good for nighttime activities, so maybe we'll get some of those folk in here as well.
What kind of nighttime activities?
Oh dear. It is a matchmaking festival, darling.
Like love potions?
Like love-making potions.
And Kyra turns like bright purple. Oh, right. I forgot that was part of this festival.
Only for some. Most will just be drinking and cavorting about the bonfire and running about poles and string ribbon behind them and just being silly. It's a silly festival. It's really a silly festival when you think about it. It's lovely, but it's silly.
Right.
And
Anyway,
you see-
I
She said,
right,
she reaches over and she just kind of looks you over, Kyra, and she just says, "But it is a festival, my dear, and I know you must be on your way, but it wouldn't be a Beelzebub festival if I didn't send you out of here with something. So, what's your favorite smell in the world?"
There's a flower on the mainland. I don't know if it grows here. It's called a lilac.
She nods and says, "I'm very familiar." And with a wave of her hand and a bit of druid craft, a crown of lilacs, a flower crown of lilacs is formed around your head, smelling that lovely sweet smell that lilacs produce. And in the spirit of the festival, they are not white, they are not purple, but they are golden. Have a wonderful festival, dear.
Right. Have a good day. And I will hurriedly head down, run out of the building.
Mm-hmm. while Kyra was at the alchemist shop, Ewan and Omenda, what are you guys doing?
I definitely made my way back to that dice boy, getting some
Yeah, for sure.
rum on the way. He's only drinking, he's not eating.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and as you make your way back to the alleyway, you see the tabaxi is still there, but there's a few new folk that are around. The gnomes have gone. There's now a very rotund human man, and the same dwarf is also there, although he's looking a bit more pissed off than the last time you were here. It looks like he's lost quite a bit of money. And yeah, you approach. The tabaxi looks up and says, "Ah, my dear friend, you have returned. Have you come to rejoin the game?"
Yeah, I came to come back and see how much I can get today.
Wonderful. I'm always happy to take more money. And he begins to roll the dice. I'm going to have you, Paul, roll for me a D100.
A D100.
So that's going to be 2 D10s. One of them is the double number, or the double digit one.
Let me see. Let's grab a handful of dice. Okay.
So fucking hot in my room.
Cool.
Sofa King.
So
All right.
fucking. The number 15.
The number 15.
Who put this rat
All
in
right.
my ravioli? I didn't order rat-violi. What an internet legend.
11.
11 on a D100?
Yeah.
So what were the two dice? It was a 10 and a 1?
Yeah, so I have you can't see, it's gonna blur it, but I have a D10 that sets a 10, and then I have a D10 that sets a 1. I rolled a 10 and a 1.
Oh. My dear friend Omenda, you're gonna play some dice with these people, and ultimately you're gonna end up down 50.
Yeah.
This
That's
tabaxi is
That's
just
rough.
a bit of a dice shark.
These are good. I'll keep these out.
Oh. Ewan, what are you up to?
I'm really curious about that scroll.
Yeah, you are.
I'm so very curious. I'm gonna find. I know it's very busy,
Mhm.
especially in the upper sections where it's sort of more residential. Is there a bush perhaps I could find myself inside of?
In this
that would be
crowd?
probably not.
In this crowd, almost certainly. Make a stealth check with advantage.
Like 17.
Seven.
Plus 6
A lot.
for 23.
On a 23, you sequester yourself in a bush as Omenda goes off to play dice and Kyra goes off looking for Juniper and Ophalon down to the apothecary. And we're going to take a short break and come back and talk about what Ewan gets up to. The DM has to pee really bad.
Go.
On the nature of the Awen.
I mean, that's what it is. The test of Caradwen is when you stare into the Cauldron of Awen, and you have to like fight the desire for greed.
Yeah.
And like, Ewan lost.
Uh,
All
I
right.
haven't taken it yet. Still many a trial to overcome before I fail.
Returning to our session, dear Ewan,
Hello.
you have hidden in a bush
Exactly.
as you allow the crowds to continue past you, exiting this these upper levels of the city. What are you up to, my friend?
In that bush, just in the dark, I'm just going to whisper in my mind, "Are you ready to get into a little bit of trouble?"
In the darkness in this book, just one little red eye appears in front of you and says, "Yeah, I'm ready."
I smile and I turn into a fox. Only this fox looks different because Ewan now looks different.
Hmm.
So now, instead of being a blonde fox, it's a mostly black fox with like gray, like undercoat and markings.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, the eyes are amber though, and they still got the wooden arms. So those two things are still true.
Mhm.
But I gotta know. I gotta pitter patter my way into that castle. It's time for me to enter it.
Okay. Yeah. You definitely feel from your new little companion an immediate reaction of instinctual fear when a fox appears in the bush with this rabbit, and he just says, "Oh, gotta go!" And he's just zoom runs out in front of you.
To warn people about that too. I like mentally note I'm gonna need to
Yeah.
warn people before I do this in the future. I'm gonna follow. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna follow after the hare. That sounds exactly like what I'm doing.
All right. This rabbit or the hare takes off, and you, a black fox, runs out after it, scampering through the state. People see you. You're a fox. Most of them just kind of like jump out of your way as you make your way, probably mostly trying to stay out of sight as best as you can. But there are times when you don't have much of a choice. As you head upwards towards the gardens, go ahead and make for me a stealth check to try and get past the guards that are getting ready to close up the castle area.
22 off a natural 16.
Damn. Yeah, absolutely. The hare in front of you zooms past these guys, and they're like, "The fuck was that?" And in their distraction, you just once again tip pitter patter right through and back into the courtyard area. Off to your left a ways is kind of towards the garden that you'd been visiting before. You see the promenade. There are some hedges and like a fountain, and there's still that one big bonfire at the base of the steps, but you do see kind of far off there the steps leading up to the doors of the castle. You're muted, my guy.
I am muted. That's my first objective, so I'm gonna make my way over there.
Okay. You head towards the castle doors. Yeah. Working your way through the hedges, just being a little guy. Wandering along. There are guards here, kind of on patrol and such. It is the king's castle. And this is your first time, I think, kind of going through the main promenade up towards the castle itself. And there are, some, it looks like minor nobility here that are kind of gathered. in spaces, just having little chats. They've got goblets of wine in their hands, and they're just, chuckling to themselves and having their own version of making merry. That isn't, being in the throngs of people crowding the streets below. Yeah. Go for it.
The stairs that lead up to the door, is the door closed currently, or is
The
it
main
open?
door to the castle is closed, it looks
Closed.
like, as you're approaching.
Ewan's gonna trot right on up. Like up
Mhm.
this, like once he reaches the steps, he's just gonna forego hiding and just trot up and then sit his little fluffy butt down right in front of the doors and just wait until somebody takes notice.
Okay. Why don't you, Ewan, go ahead and roll for me a d4 and tell me what you roll.
Okay. 4.
4. That's truly hilarious. You sit there for a little bit. You sit there kind of thinking, like, I'm a black fox on white stone. Somebody's gonna see me.
Yeah,
You
right?
know, eventually. A lot of the guards are just kind of patrolling around. None of them are really up here by the doors, and you're just kind of sitting there, and you're getting to the point where you're like, maybe I need to like make a noise or something to get somebody's attention. But then you hear a soft voice from kind of up and to the right from you say, "Oh, and who's this?" And the
Clean up.
lady Caradwin, her cauldron following behind her, is just looking down at you. You see, she smiles and she kneels down. You see her green eyes, now that you're seeing them up close, just give this soft glow, just this verdant light as she smiles and looks at you. And you go, "Arr!" And she smiles and reaches out and gives you a little scratch behind the ear and under the chin and says, "Now, I think we both know that that's not your preferred method of speech, now is it?" And she gives a little wink and she seems to cast a spell. It says, "Would you mind saying that again?" She seems to have cast a speak with animals spell on you.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you open the door?
She looks at the door and she looks at, "Why do you want inside of the castle, little fox?"
Smells good in there.
"I'm sure it does. There is a rather large feast that's being prepared. But I'm afraid little foxes don't belong in the castle. The garden's over there, though. You might find something more to your liking."
He doesn't respond to it, but he looks grumpy.
Yeah. You hear a little voice in your head, Ewan, say, "You need a distraction? Distraction!"
Spider.
Yes.
That same voice comes in quickly and just says, "Follow me!" And the rabbit bolts from behind where she's at, and as if trying to goad you into a chase.
It is lightning.
Oh, it is lightning. I just saw some too.
His eyes snap to the rabbit fleeing, and he just darts out after.
You hear a chuckle as the hare just bolts out across the lawn, and this time not going at full speed, so you actually are able to like feasibly chase it. And you can tell even at this, like you're running pretty fast for your fox, and you can tell this rabbit is not breaking a sweat. It's just
No.
like taking off. And it's going to just run across the promenade. A few people like laugh and cheer at the fox chasing the hare until it dives into some hedges.
Dive in and follow.
You pop out in that same garden where you had been coming to see the Lady Caradwyn and watch her for several nights. And the hare is there and looking at you and said, "That was fun. Can we do it again?"
We could, but I have a different idea.
Okay.
How are there any higher floors that appear to have openings, like windows or
Oh,
balconies?
there are a few, yeah. Looking around in this garden space too, you do see like kind of a trail-ish area that leads back and around through some hedges. It could be like a hedge maze kind of situation, but it does seem to lead along one side of the castle.
Hmm. Well, that's something. I'll give that I'll head in that direction.
Go ahead and you can make an investigation or a perception check for me as you head out.
Would you let me make a survival check?
I would let you
lot of
make a
lightning.
survival check.
It's the first day of summer. I rolled so low. 10.
10. It takes you a while. It does seem to be a little bit of a hedge maze situation. So you do find yourself just like, well, I have to solve a maze.
I have a burrow speed. I start cheating really quickly.
Fair. Eventually you do find yourself...
Burrow speed.
I'm a fox.
Yeah,
Foxes
That's
have
true.
a 5 foot
That's
burrow.
very true. I forgot you were a fox. Thought you were just dude form, just burrowing through
Uh,
the.
you do find yourself eventually kind of make your way out of this space, and you're alongside the castle there. The wall, the like outer wall is to your left, and then the walls of the keep are to your right. And it takes probably a good 20 minutes until you get to this point, but you eventually do see an open door in a section of the castle. It looks like a scullery door.
I'm in that shit already.
Yeah, for sure. And it is a scullery door. You poke your head inside, and there are delicious smells coming from somewhere up above. You are, being a scullery door, you are somewhat close to the kitchen at this point.
Love to hear it. You absolutely love to hear it. That is, however, not why I actually came here.
That's true.
I am gonna turn to my shadow and see the one little red eye. And in my head, just say, all right, we're gonna split up for a little while and look for the king. He was the fella with the, like, flower crown business. Old-looking guy.
Where should I go?
Check upstairs.
Okay. He's gone.
What a lovely little ass. All right, now I'm gonna start listening around to see if anybody's
Yeah.
talking about him.
Go ahead and you hear mostly kitchen staff cleaning dishes, dishes being brought down in. They're talking mostly about the feast that'll be had here tonight. But you do know, eventually kind of glean, you figure out the route that seems to go up from here. You have to head up some stairs, and then you'll hit the kitchen, and then it seems like you'll be on a level where you could branch out and go somewhere else. So go ahead and make for me a stealth check. Another one as you progress through the castle here.
10.
10. I'm gonna make a perception check for the commoner scullery maids, just to see if anybody notices a black fox chilling in the castle. Unseen, this little black fox pitter patters up the steps. At one point, a rather rotund woman comes descending the steps, and you just stop in your tracks and make yourself as small as possible on the edge of the steps. She does not see you because she is carrying a massive stack of plates and walks right next to you, almost stepping on you, but doesn't. That would have made a very loud noise had she tripped and dropped all of those plates.
Oh my!
But she passes you, and you're able to continue up. You pop up into the kitchen, roasting meats and cooking, baking bread, all sorts of things up in here. But an easy exit, as you see, the door out of here is just to your right. You're able to sneak through, and you're in some sort of a like long hallway with many doors coming off of it. Most of the doors are closed, but you do see 2 that are open down towards the end.
I'll go check out those ones, seeing if perhaps I can smell the telltale smell of old man.
The telltale smell of old man. Make a perception check as you head that way.
Since it's scent based, I have advantage.
You do.
Hold on, is Fox scent or is it just hearing? Oh no, Fox is just hearing. My bad.
No.
I do not. 9.
9. You do not smell the telltale sign of old man. However, you do smell, as you approach these doors, one of them leads, kind of is another hallway that isn't as long, but leads in a kind of down in that direction. And you do smell the scent of a hare heading that direction. The other route, which is to your right, you see kind of a simple stone staircase that's leading upwards.
Well, I suppose I'll go check out the stone staircase.
All right.
It's my constituent.
You head on up, eventually letting out of these stairs on sort of a grand balcony of sorts. You poke your head out and look around, and you can see like a balcony balustrade in front of you, and it's got holes in it like in the architecture, so you can look down and you can see kind of the grand entrance hall of the castle is what you're above at this point. You are approximately, I don't know, 20, 30 feet up from that space. And with your keen fox senses, as you look down, you see hiding in the shadows down in this entrance hall a little rabbit, just kind of hunkered down in the shadows by a suit of armor, like a decorative suit of armor.
Beans, we're not finding the guy. I'm just gonna, because it's already been a little while, so I'm probably past the halfway point, and I should probably worry about getting out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna look down at the rabbit, and just in our minds, all right, we're gonna come back and check later. We're getting out of here.
Says, okay, where are you?
I'm above you. Meet me
I
on the
couldn't
way.
find the stairs.
Trace your steps back and meet me at the meet me in the area where I chased you.
Okay. And you just see down below again. You blink, he's gone.
Amazing. I'm gonna find my way to the nearest outside window.
Yeah.
And as I do there, I'm going to use bonus actions and start storing power. I'm going to use all 3 of my spell slots and convert them to mutation points. And use Winged Shape.
Oh, intriguing.
So as he stands there, I believe it's 3 for that.
Go ahead and as you're doing that, you're prepping yourself for what you want to do.
Sky. Yeah.
I'll have you go ahead and make an investigation check for me as you're looking for, or perception as you're looking for a way out.
Ooh. For perception, it's truly what I would use. 24.
24. You see, you're up on this kind of balustrade. You're looking around. There are windows up here. A lot of them are shuttered closed. Not necessarily a big issue, but it would take a little bit of pushing and shoving to get them open enough for you to scurry under. You do kind of further back, like it seems like it's further into the castle, but you do see an open one a little bit further on. And so you start heading that way, prepping yourself to be able to fly. I'd say at this point you have about 20 minutes left on your wild shape.
Yeah.
And as you are heading that way, you're getting towards the window, and you do hear voices down in the entrance hall below you.
I got time for a little peek. I'll give a listen.
You look down and you see 2 figures. You see the armor and the red hair and the armor of Rhiannon, the Lady of the Horses, and walking side by side, having a conversation with King Mathenwy, or King Math down below. Just, like I said, about 20-30 feet below you.
Can I see the scroll on him?
You don't see it on him.
What are they talking about?
As you listen in, you see they're having a bit of a conversation, and Rhiannon, the bit that you're able to catch from Rhiannon is, well, dear King, I just do hope that you understand the importance of what we've given. It is a very dangerous, it is sacred, and it is powerful. Powerful magic like that is to be kept safe and to be kept out of the hands of those that would use it for troublesome things. And my sister and my father are putting a lot of faith in your ability to keep that safe. I love my sister dearly, but I am worried that she thought it wise to give such a gift so publicly. And you hear King Mathenwy say, I am just as shocked as you are, dear lady, but rest assured, this castle is fortified, and there are plenty of places within that are quite magically protected. And we will find the best of those spaces to keep such an important item until such time as, we will keep it safe as long as we can. You see, she just kind of nods. You see, he says, for the moment, it is It is quite safe. Although, as I said, we will find something a bit more secure before the evening finishes. And she says, "Well, I just hope that." And at about that time, you hear another voice from across the entrance hall say, "King Math, a word, if you will." And King Math says, I will be there in a moment. My dear lady, I would love to continue this conversation, but I must. There's so many things to do today. And she says, of course. You wanted me to visit your tower guard? And he says, yes, you are quite capable. If you would help whip some of them into shape, that would be very appreciative. And she just nods and gives kind of a small salute, and she turns, and you and your Fey senses give a little bit of a tingle, and you sense a presence with the Lady Rhiannon, and it is a presence you felt before, although previously it was much more solid. There is a spirit that is following the Lady Rhiannon. And you have a sneaking suspicion that were that spirit corporeal, it would be a very large horse. But it just sort of follows ethereally everywhere she treads.
Okay. Oh, the temptation for mischief is so strong, but we gotta play the long con if we want to get into real mischief.
Mm-hmm.
So what I will do is I'll trot on over, or I'll slink on over to that window that I saw that was open.
Yeah.
Now that I've gained some information.
You head over to the window, pop up, and see the kind of roof and gables. You're not super high up. You can see a little ways away from you that hedge maze that you had found yourself scurrying through. And you have prepped yourself to have the ability to fly, should you need to.
Yeah, I have. And honestly, yeah, fuck it. It's a festival. The people see all kinds of weird face shit during the festivals. I'm gonna honestly just run, and as I do, sprouting like rays of sunlight, feathered wings sprout from my back, and like a little shaman from Pokemon, I'm just gonna jump off and fucking fly out through the
Love that.
promenade, like just straight out of there.
You take off, and as you fly above the promenade, I'd like you to give me one more perception check.
Is it related to hearing?
It could be, so go ahead and have advantage on this.
Oh, I guess my perception's still really good. 17.
Oh yeah, 17,
10.
absolutely. As you're flying out and over the promenade high enough that nobody would think, people that were maybe higher up in the castle, if they just happened to be looking out a window at this angle, might see you. But none of these guards are looking up. There's kites everywhere. It's a festival. And as you sail out over the promenade, you start to pass over the outer walls of the castle area.
I specifically do not pass over them. I pass under and through.
Okay.
Because I don't want. Because they're like portcullis, right? So like there's a large. Like how tall is the opening between the gates? I guess is a something.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely tall enough. You were up high enough that you definitely could just make it over the walls.
Yeah, I go out. I probably go out over the walls. That's fine then.
But you,
I don't
as
have to climb.
you're heading that way, you do hear voices atop the wall, and kind of looking over and giving a sniff, you also smell familiar smells. Ophalon and Juniper are nearby.
Oh, well, I'll divert course. I'm following that scent.
Flying over, you follow the sound of the voices to the top of the wall, and you land in your foxy form and see two figures. You see the red hair of Juniper, and you see the shaggy legs and the kind of well-built body of Ophalon. Their backs are to you, a little ways down along the wall here.
What are they up to?
It looks like they're having a conversation with each other at the moment.
Can I hear the details of said conversation?
Make a perception. Well, yeah, make another perception check for me. This would be hearing, so.
Okey doke. I rolled a natural 1 and a 16 for 23.
23. A voice comes from Ophalon. He says, "Well, this certainly could have been easier." You hear Juniper say, "If things were going to be easy, we wouldn't have had to do it this way." And as Juniper shifts a little bit, Ewan, in your fox form, you see a shiny dagger is in Juniper's hand. Or it would be shiny, were it not dripping with crimson liquid. And as she moves just enough, you see a glint of armor in front of the two of them, as a castle guard has been killed here. You see Ophalon one kind of straighten up and give a little bit of a sniff on the air, and his head turns and looks down the wall towards you, a little fox. You see he turns and he says, "Well, hey, little fella, how'd you get up here?"
And I spread my wings and then take off
Yeah. As you do,
like a bat out of hell.
taking off out of there, the sun is shining bright overhead. And you catch sight of something with that perception. Something that is wrong. And at first you can't place it. But then it comes to you. Though Ophalon and Juniper watch as you take off, and you see Juniper reach out her hand and a thorn whip extend, attempting to catch you in midair and pull you to her. And she misses, but barely. You feel it wrap around the scut of your tail, and you just whip it out of her way. The sun is shining. It's the middle of the day. Neither of them have shadows. And that's where we're going to stop for the night, my friends.
Shadows, Kyle. Why not? Dude, this lightning's fucking me up.
Dude, this lightning's got me fucking jazzercised.
Like I have an extremely bad but also irrational fear of lightning because I didn't grow up around very many trees.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. So I'm very afraid of getting hit by lightning.
oh my god.
And when I see what looks to be from this distance a 15-meter wide lightning strike on top of the hill, I get freaked out.
Oh yeah, brother. Pretty much every note I took for this session is just tea. It's all just tea. Ewan was just being a little fucking scamp and
Little
just
scamper.
getting tea from the town.
T-Town vibes.
I like Ewan's fox excursions. They're fun.
The fox excursions are so fun.
I feel bad for the other people, but I think they enjoy it just as much. So.
Mhm. I was vibing.
Ooh.
I was just playing some dice. God damn, this is fucking me up.
I just saw
It's
that
really
flash,
close too.
Yeah,
it's really
not-
close. Like you might not have seen it because I don't know where your windows face, but over on the hill going out in the highway, straight up like not 15 meters. That's fucking really long, but like 5 meter wide ass lightning strike hit top of the hill. Bang!
Yeah.
And I was like, and
It's the highest point
and,
out
like,
there, man.
and like stuck it like it was like zzz, and like whoop, and then it went away. Like
There's a
Oh my god.
when I'm at work,
It's intense.
when I'm at work, there's from
made
the
no
main
noise.
from the main entrance of the hospital, you can see. I think it's St. Anne's Cathedral is
Hmm.
up the South Hill a little higher, and it's definitely one of the highest points around. And last year there was a big thunderstorm, and I was out there watching things. And what is she sitting like that?
Because
Um,
there's thunder and lightning out there.
Ah.
Mhm.
She was cleaning herself and now she's transfixed.
But it's like if you're standing at the entrance of the hospital and like a thunderstorm rolls through, the top of that cathedral gets struck like 3 times, like, and it's truly like 4 or 5 blocks away from the hospital. Oh, well, that was fun.
It was.
So very fun.
The Beeltena Festival has begun, and mysteries are afoot.
I just love being on the bullshit with the Fox stuff. Like I'm just happy I got useful information out of it this time, and you guys didn't just watch me be a skittish little animal for 25 minutes.
I truly